You gonna be in the video? What you doing? To their Remy is not cooperating for this video. Okay. It never fails that when I want to do a video, the dog decides that it's time to get attention or ask to go outside. Whatever. Alright, so there's a lot. The mail is here. Hey everybody, and welcome back for another thrift haul. Today we've got a variety of really fun items, so let's get started. I paid a visit to a new thrift store, well, not a new thrift store, but new to me thrift store called Snowline Hospice Thrift Store. All of the money that they raise goes towards their organization for hospice care, which is pretty cool. So I had not been there before. It was recommended to me that I go, and I didn't even know that they were back open yet, so I checked it out. And everything that I'm going to show you today came from there, except for one item, this guy over here. This was from Goodwill, and this is a lobster mold. It's a copper mold for Jello or baking, I guess. These are very popular to hang up. I want to say maybe the Golden Girls had things like this hanging on their wall. It's just a fun one. I got a lot of copper molds because they are still very collectible. People like to hang them on their walls, like I said. So I picked up several of those while I was out thrifting. These are all just various shapes, copper molds. You can tell that they're very different. These are more of like a rose gold copper color than the lobster, which is like a really more of a heavy duty pan, and this one actually has a stamp on the side that's made in Portugal. So those are a really fun find. Those would be great for someone who's trying to get into collecting those or has a collection. So I did end up with a couple of salt and pepper shakers, as you can see. These ones here are really cool. They've got this kind of swirly design on them, and I actually didn't even get a good look at them until today when I took them out of the bag because they were wrapped in saran wrap so that they would stay together, I guess. So now that I can actually see them, they have an S and a P on the lip up here, and then this swirling pattern is actually really cool. I got them simply because I could see the bottom was stamped Japan, and they are nice ceramic, so I knew that they were a good find. So I just picked these up kind of without totally seeing them, and they are in very good condition, which is probably helped by the fact that they were in saran wrap when they arrived. So those are just a cool one. Now these little turquoise guys are really a cute color, but there's no information on the bottom. They're definitely old. They have some deteriorating cork stoppers, and the bottom is very worn. So I'm not really sure. For anyone out there who is an expert, are these Fiesta? Please let me know. I don't know anything about these. I haven't looked anything up yet. Honestly, I left all of the stuff in the bag for the most part until I was going to do this video. So if you know what these are, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to learn about them. These, they do have, there's 3 holes in one and then 2 holes in the other on the little spout. They're like little tiny pitchers. They're very cute, and I love the color. Of course, wouldn't be a day out thrifting if I didn't come across some carved wooden something. So I ended up with this pea pod shaped bowl. I just can't stop with the wood bowls. I don't know. I thought this was a cool shape, And it is a little dried out and scuffed, but I'm going to polish it up and see if I can kind of get it shined up and looking nice again. This is a super fun souvenir piece. This has Hawaii on the rim here. It's like part of the piece. It's like molded into it. The bottom is carved aloha. That's it. And it used to have some kind of a stamp on it, maybe that said where it was made, but it's not really readable anymore. There is a piece of tape and a little label stuck over it that says Luini, maybe? I don't know. It looks like Luini, but it's very hard to make out. I'm not sure if that's what it says. But then it looks like the number 76. So I'm assuming that's a little note about when they got it. 1976? I mean, I could see that from the color and the pattern that's on it, but I'm really not sure. Again, this is a piece that I don't really know anything about. But the fact that it said Hawaii and then had the aloha carving on the bottom, plus just the shape and color and pattern on here, it's just a cool piece all around. I just had to grab that. And this thrift store did have pretty good prices. There was a lot of stuff that they clearly knew it was vintage, and so they marked it higher. And those prices weren't high necessarily. They were pretty average retail prices on things, I would say. But for buying to resell, that wasn't leaving a lot of room. So there were a lot of really cool pieces that I left behind. For instance, they had a large selection of Pyrex, mostly greens and browns. Just really cool pieces in really good condition, but with the prices where they were at, not enough room for me to make any money off of them. And not ones that I really needed to have for my own collection, so I left them behind. This dish is yet another one that I really don't know anything about. It is stamped on the bottom, 701B, so it is some kind of older pottery piece. It has crazing on it. It's just a beautiful pattern. It's a nice shape with a cool texture to it. It has one teeny tiny chip that you're not even going to be able to see on the camera. But overall, it's a really nice piece, so I grabbed it. This is one I haven't quite decided if it's going to stay here or if it's going to go be for sale, because I do have a few other pieces of glass that this goes with. But this is just a really cool shape of glassware. It's like an amber color. It's just a neat one. We'll see if this stays or goes. That was one of the more expensive ones that I bought. Out of all of the stuff that I'm showing you, this was probably the highest priced thing on the table. Yes, this is definitely the highest priced thing on the table. But still, it was a good deal. This plastic bag caught my eye right away. These are very fun. A lot of people really like to collect these and use them. It's just a plastic tote bag. It's better for like beach kind of things, I'd say, or maybe if you're going to a farmer's market or something like that. It's not great as like a regular everyday purse because you can see right through it and it has a lot of holes in it. But it is a fun piece. The handle I really like because it has this little track here where the other handle fits in. So they're all joined together and it gives you a little bit nicer of a place to hold on to it so that the handles aren't really digging into your hand. So that's really nice. It does have one little break right here. It could probably be glued back together. I haven't tried to repair it. I'm not going to try to repair it. It's just a cute, fun little bag. Now, they had an area where there were a bunch of vintage paper goods that were all marked 50 cents a piece, so I was all over that. I looked through the entire rack of stuff and I picked out a bunch of really cool things. This is sheet music. It's actually a piano course apparently, and there is a certificate at the back for when you complete it. But it just is in really nice condition. It has very cute graphics on the front and very cute graphics throughout. You can see it's got all these cute little illustrations. Lots of like, what are these? Gnomes, pixies. They're really cute. Just a very fun piece. I can't find a date on this, but it definitely has some age to it. Another Learn How book, of course. I'm going to pick these up anytime I see them because these are so cool and actually very handy because they talk about knitting, crocheting, tatting, embroidery, all different kinds of fiber arts, and have instructions in them. And I keep forgetting when it is from. 1959. This is the, I guess, a cookbook that goes along with the Osterizer Liquefier Blender. It has a lot of recipes and things in it, but the color photos and the illustrations and things were just really cool. I don't have the blender that it goes with, but it's still a fun piece. It is from 1968. So even if you don't have the Osterizer Liquefier Blender, you could still have some fun making things out of this book or just having it as a fun piece to add to your collection. This one is called The Pick of the Pineapples. And at first glance, looking at the title, I assumed it was some kind of recipe book. But no, it does not appear to be. It appears to have instructions for crocheting doilies. I don't know. It seems that most of the pictures have a pineapple in them, or a pineapple illustration on the page. The photos are fantastic, and I think it's just kind of a funky piece. It kind of threw me for a loop when I saw that. Did not expect that it was going to be doily instructional. It is from 1952. How cute is this music book here? This is another piano course, and this one is, the price is significantly higher than the one on the first one that I showed you. I would say that this one is a much later piece, but still, I don't think that there's a date in here. It's from Cincinnati, Ohio, but that's all it says. So it's just a fun one. And this also has cool illustrations in it. Let's see. It also has notes that somebody wrote in here. Someone was definitely using this. But just, you know, it has little illustrations throughout with all the music. It's just very cute. Of course, I had to pick up some Christmas-themed ones. How cool is this? A Merry Christmas in Song, Verse, and Story. And this one is, again, music. Some music to take caroling, I guess. You could take this with you. It just is really cool. I love Christmas stuff. So I personally would just put this out on display at Christmas time. If you can read music, then this is also a fun piece because it actually does have the sheet music in there for Christmas songs and things. And then Christmas verses. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. All the good ones, right? It came upon a midnight clear, deck the halls, everything is in here. What a fantastic piece. Now, does this one have a year on it? Does not appear to have a year, but this one is from Chicago. Penny and Nickel. 1619 West 80th Street, Stewart. 3-5686. I'm not sure when that's from, but that's a fun one. It's in very good condition, too. And another Christmas one, of course. This is Christmas Carols. Just a cute illustration. Look at the end papers in there. That's cute. It's just got a lot of, this is, throughout is not in color. Whoa, there's like a little, I don't know, is that a bookmark? This has very yellowed pages. If you were going to cut it up and use it for crafts, that paper is very nice for that. But I will say it's very well intact. It would be a great display piece again. This one is from Racine, Wisconsin, but no date that I can see. I really like finding things that say Chicago and Wisconsin, Illinois, things like that, because that is where I moved from. I, up until a few months ago, lived there. So it's kind of fun to have a little reminder of home. This is another sheet music piece. It's missing the back, but I really just liked the cover. You could take, I mean, it's taped together, so you could definitely take this apart and use the music for craft projects or decorating or whatever. But I just thought that cover was really cool. Somebody might want to frame that and put that up in their house. I don't know. The Joys of Jello. This is just a fantastic book. If you like Jello, if you like kitschy mid-century things, this is chock full of fantastically disgusting and sometimes delicious Jello desserts. It's quite a range, definitely. There's some really cute illustrations. You know, not all Jello is bad as far as the recipe contents, but you're definitely going to find some stuff in here. Ring around the tuna, for instance. You just shouldn't be mixing your meats and your Jellos, in my opinion. And vegetables. Vegetables need to stay far away from Jello, but not in the 1960s or whenever this is from. Let's see. Do we have a date on the Joys of Jello? Doesn't look like it has a date. Who knows, man? This also shows you in the back some different molds that you can use for your Jello creations. You could send in for them, in fact. Just send 25 cents and any combination of 6 fruit or salad illustrations from Jello packages with your name and address, and then you can get some molds. Who knew? I'll be honest, this little thing on the cover with the strawberries suspended in gelatin and some kind of like strawberry mousse or pudding or something on the top, I mean, I'd eat that. I definitely would eat that. I would not eat this creation that's on the back, which appears to contain bell peppers and celery, maybe even some cucumber. I would pass on that one. Ortho Garden Digest. This is just adorable. I mean, I love this. This illustration is so sweet. Inside, it talks about gardening things. It has more fantastic illustrations. Of course, it advertises the Ortho products. But, oh, look at that. It's just so sweet. This is such a fun one. The Casserole Cookbook. Now, it's funny when you get going to different thrift stores and you're seeing the cross price tags, I guess. A lot of times at Goodwill, you see prices that are written on things from like a garage sale or something. This thrift store still had Goodwill price tags on it. So somebody must have bought these at Goodwill, kept them for a little while, and then decided they didn't need them anymore. But it has some really cute illustrations throughout. So I thought that was a fun one. And then this is pretty much the same style, same manufacturer, with another Goodwill sticker on it. This one is the Ground Meat Cookbook. And I'm not sure, do these ones have dates? Oh, this one does have dates. Okay. So copyright 65, 55, 54. So this is probably, these two are 1965, and it was published before that as well. But yeah, I mean, I would have guessed 60s based on the illustrations in here. Super fun. So that's a nice pair. So that's the end of the paper goods. Then we've got one more item, and it is a bigger item, so I have it sitting on the floor. This is going to stay with me. Hopefully this isn't too out of frame. But this is a little stand. I believe that these were phone stands. You would have your phone sit up here. You'd put your phone books or magazines, book catalog, something down here, and have this sitting by a chair. But if I am wrong, please let me know. I guess it could also be for an ashtray or something like that. The ashtray that I have that I wanted to put on top of this doesn't quite fit, unfortunately. But I just wanted to have this sitting next to a chair so that you could put your drink on it or something like that. It's just a nice little stand that doesn't take up too much room. So I had really been wanting one of these, and this was only $9, which is fantastic. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me for this thrift haul. I will be back again soon with more thrifting adventures and fun items. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more videos from me. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye!